What's up everyone, how's it going? So in this video we'll discuss some annotations and typically the annotations based on at conditional. So there are a couple of variation of this annotation and we'll be discussing mostly all of them. So let's first talk about what this annotation is. So before we move on to what these annotation is, let me tell you about why these are used. One of the annotation is at conditional. So this is used to specify whether this particular component or that bean would be initialized based on some condition or not. So we're going to discuss everything, what is a bean and what are these conditions and what are these annotations in this video. So if you're new to Spring Boot, you can check out my video course on Spring Boot. So I'll be adding some timestamps for this video so you can check out those particular annotations which you're interested in. But firstly, we'll talk about what beans are for the sake of this video. So I'll take a simplest example. I'll just create a controller and then I'll create another class and I'll try to call that method of that class. So here I've created a controller with a mapping of /hello. So now let's create a class and call that method of that class from here. So what we're going to do is call this method from the controller and return this value. So I've created an object and I'll just call that method. So here you go. So as simple as that. So we're just calling this method. But right now if we run this, we'll get null pointer exception because this right now is null. This has not been initialized. So one way to do is using auto wiring. So we have auto wired it, but will we have anything? So right now if we run this, we'll also get null pointer exception because Spring doesn't know that there is a class of sample bean and it has to create a bean or an object of this type. So the reason it doesn't know that it because we have not added any annotation for this class. The other way is we could have created a bean of this class. So bean in simple words is just an object that Spring stores in an IOC container. So let's add an annotation. So it's as simple as a component. So now a bean of this class would be created, and finally when we do auto wiring of this, it would be provided to this object or this reference variable. So now it will work. So let's test this out. So if you hit this request /hello, you'll get a hello bean as the response. So what will happen if we comment this? Basically the Spring Boot application will not be initialized. It's because it won't be able to find any bean of this type and it will ask you to create some bean. So here you go. So this is what it is. Now another way to create some bean is using add bean annotation. Right now I'm creating a config file. So in this config we'll initialize a bean. Just need to create an object of this type. So that's it. We have done that. We've just created a method that would create an object of this type and it would return that. So how would Spring know? Spring would still don't know this. So you can mark that class add configuration. Now still Spring would not know what this method is, whether the Spring IOC container should store a bean of this type or not. So for that we need to add an annotation called bean. So this configuration basically tells that there is some configuration inside that and you need to check that, and this bean tells that this is some bean. That one other thing you would have noticed that if you want to just run that without doing anything, you can use required as false. So we have two options in auto wiring, so required as true or false. So what that mean is by default we would require that and this is compulsory, but if you mark it as false, this bean is not compulsory. So let's test this out with this configuration. So this is working fine. So let's test this. Yeah, same output. Finally we know what bean is. So why would you need to create a bean? You could have done that with add component here. For this example it's true, but sometimes we'll need to create some beans or some objects by ourselves. These are helpful for configurations. One of the best example of this is data source configuration. So a data source configuration is something like if you want to configure your data source by yourself, so you would add a bean annotation here and write your data source configuration here. That's one of the example. So let's move this discussion to our main topic of this video, which is add conditional annotation. Suppose there is a bean and I want to initialize it only on the basis of a particular condition, then we can use this type of annotation. Now you might be wondering what could be the real world scenario of this. Let's take an example of a Spring Boot application that connects to not only a single database but to multiple database. Now if you want a condition that the database, the second and third, should not be connected in a particular scenario, then that would be good, because you would initialize your multiple data source here, and then finally you can annotate it with add conditional, and you can specify a condition that only on certain conditions you'll be initializing those data source. So it's okay if you didn't understand what I just talked about. So let's first talk about the basic annotation, which is add conditional. So this basically expects some class that you would define here. So based on certain criteria that you specify on that class, this bean would be initialized. So I'll be creating a class called myCondition.class. So let's create this class. You could typically add that condition inside config package only, but if you have multiple conditions across your project, you can simply create a new package. So this is a simple condition class. So what you would do is you would implement that interface, which is condition, this one, and this contains a method called matches. Here you would write some business logic or whatever you want. So one thing to note here is that this method returns a boolean value. So what happens is, if that boolean value is true, then only this bean will be initialized, otherwise it won't be initialized. So let's test a very basic statement. So we're not going to do anything, we're just going to leave it, and this will return false. So since this is false and we have added add conditional annotation with this class, so this bean will not be initialized. So basically you'll get an error. That's because the bean that you want here should be mandatory. So for that you can add required as false. So this is basically a standard that you would do if you have annotated that bean with add conditional. So this bean, so you might never know whether the bean is initialized or not, so that is why you need to add this required as false, so that your Spring Boot application will always be up. So no errors in your Spring Boot application, but it won't work since the bean has not been initialized. It will not be injected here, and since it's nothing but a reference variable, it will be a null, and this will give a null pointer exception. So if I hit this, it will give just a null pointer and a 500 status. So here you go. So let's try flipping this to true and see if that works or not. So here you go. So one such example of how people use that is with the help of application.properties or the configuration variables. So let's say we have some properties. So let's say it's true. So based on this property, we want whether to initialize that bean or not. So typically if you have worked with these type of things, one such thing you would definitely do is you would create a boolean and you will annotate it with add value, and you'll add that property. So this can be anything, of course, and this is just the name of the variable. This is what people would typically do, and that's okay. But one thing to note here, that this is not a component or not a configuration class. So Spring doesn't know, this is just a normal class, normal Java class. This has not been initialized by Spring Boot, basically Spring IOC container. So this config value or this application.properties value would not be injected to this variable. So you can test it out, this won't work. So to solve this problem, what you can do is simply use this context variable. Now the workaround for this type of solution is typically very tricky. So you've initialized your key value pair here. So in a condition you would do something like that. So first of all, in this you will add this statement. So basically it gets the property value. So now to know from where to get this, you have to add this add property source, and this is the location of the file. So typically our application.property resides in this thing, and we have to mark it as configuration. So I would typically use this if I have some business logic written here, and based on this value I will return my answer. But if you want to initialize a bean based on certain property value, then there is another annotation for that, and that we're going to discuss in just a couple of seconds. But before that, let's test this out. So here you go. So it's working fine, and if we mark it as false, so we'll get that error. So this condition is basically add conditional on property. So what it does, it contains some parameters. So there are some values that you can use. So one of the main values that we can use is the name. So this is the name of the property that we can use. So this is initialize bean, and you can compare it with this property called having value. So what it typically means that it will fetch the value of this property and it will compare with this. If both are equal, then only this bean will be initialized. So right now our property is false, so the bean will not be initialized. Since the bean will not be initialized, we'll get an error. So let's check this out. So here you go. So now let's specify it as true. So here you go. So there are some other properties that you can use with that, and which is prefix. So what prefix is, so let's suppose you have some application or property key as this. So here you can mark this as prefix. So let's say this one. So this is a prefix and this is the name of that property after that, just like normal prefix. This is that. So this would work as it is. You can just try it out. So there are two more properties in this annotation. So one is the value and another is match is missing. So value is basically same as this. So if you replace this with value, it would be same. So let's talk about the last property, which is match if missing. So this expects a boolean value, whether true or false. So by default it's false, so there's no point of discussing that. So let's discuss the value as true. So whenever you use this, you will not use having property. So what happens is it will see if this property is missing from your config or from your properties file or not. So if this is missing, then only it will evaluate whether it's false or something else. So let's take this example. So it will search for this property initialize.bean, and if it's present here, then it will check whether the value is false or something else. So let's say it's something else, anything. So let's say it's false one. It doesn't make any sense. So we'll take this value. So since the value is present in this, so it will be checked, and that value is other than false. So anything that, so it could be anything, and that is why our bean is being initialized. So right now what we can do is, let's suppose if we make it as false, then this will not be initialized. So here you go, you get an error. It is quite complicated if you just read this, but yeah. So let's move to the next type of annotation. So we have conditional on Java, that basically checks which version of Java you're running. So I don't think that would be very helpful. So you have enumeration of Java version and then you can specify any version. So currently I'm working on Java version 11. So if I type that, so if the working environment is Java 11, so let's run that. So here you go. So let's specify some Java, some 16 version. So this is pretty much it about conditional annotation, although there are a lot of conditional annotation still left. So I'll be quickly discussing some of them real quick. So conditional mean basically check if that particular bean exists or not. So you can type out any bean that you want. So example, here you can type out that particular bean. So let's say this is some bean, and there you can specify. So what Spring would do on initialization is it will check this, that we have an annotation for bean conditional check, and it will check whether this particular bean, let's suppose this is some bean, so does Spring IOC container has this bean or not. If it doesn't have, it will not initialize this bean. We have an opposite annotation on that, which is conditional on missing bean. So similar to that, if the bean is not there, then this will be initialized. Then we have some annotation for conditional on expression. So this uses something called SPEL, which is Spring Expression Language. So if you're not very much familiar with Spring Expression Language, then do not worry because it's not being used a lot. So what this is basically, it's similar to Java programming, but not very similar. So here you will specify some expression. So the format of this SPEL is string. So between that you will specify that expression. So I myself do not know much about SPEL, but this is one such example of SPEL. So as you might know, this is a typical way to inject a variable from the application.property or a configuration file And just like I said, it's just like a normal Java code. So we have an equals method of an object class, and since this string is an object, so we can use that on that. So this will basically check if this variable or whatever config we have is yes or not. So currently it's yes, so it will be initialized. So similarly, if it's no or something like that, it won't be initialized. So let's check that as well. So here you go. So in this way you can just play around and see which conditional annotation would be preferable for your case scenario. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. If you're interested in Java 8, I have a Java 8 crash course. Along with that, if you're giving interviews, I have Java 8 interview question series. If you're new to Spring Boot, you can check out the Spring Boot series. Thanks for watching the video. I'll meet you next week. Bye bye.